Hello everyone, in today's video we're going to be taking a look at the helicopter traffic pattern and how it differs from a traditional fixed-wing traffic pattern. Let's get started. So there's a couple things that make helicopters a little more exciting, as you've probably seen in our last few videos based on helicopters. And that's, of course, you're dealing with the fact that you're inherently unstable. If you look away for about half a second, all of a sudden you're about to crash. And, of course, we have different speed requirements than helicopter, or I should say, that fixed-wing aircraft do. For one, helicopters have the ability to operate at very low speeds if we need to. The other thing we have, of course, is an inherent lack of emergency maneuvering capability. As I've mentioned many times, and it says on the handle there, you really don't want to push the helicopter forward at any point. You know, if we want to lose lift, basically we're going to reduce collective. We're not ever going to go brink with the nose, because if you do that, that's going to get us nice and disconnected from the rest of the helicopter, so to speak. So what I'm going to do is we're going to run through a traffic pattern here of a runway 27, or a lovely Wyndham here. Now, if you are a fixed-wing airplane, a runway 27, actually all the airport here, you'd be about 1,246 feet, because we're about 246 above sea level here. Now, helicopters were allowed to operate below that altitude. As a matter of fact, it's often easier to operate below that altitude on account of the fact that basically kind of keeps you out of the way of the other helicopters or the other things that are flying around the traffic pattern. Now, Wyndham, for those of you who know it in the real world, you tend to get a lot of glider traffic, so it makes things kind of fun for you as well. The second big difference it's going to be for us is instead of doing 1246, we're going to be doing 746. That's a 500 feet above sea level, or ground level, I should say, as opposed to the usual 1,000 feet that you're pretty typical to. And then finally, the more confusing thing is we're going to be taking right turns instead of left turns. Again, why would you do that? Look what side of the helicopter I'm sitting on. We don't fly helicopters from the other seat. Now, there's some really fun urban legends about that. So anyway, let's get going. I'm going to go ahead and take you a pretty standard takeoff here. Take advantage of that nice, yummy translational lift. I think Flight Sim overdoes it just a little bit. There we go. Wait for the green arc, and up we go. So we're going to start a pretty standard climb here. Like I said, nothing too crazy. Some people, of course, if you're doing helicopter ops, you'd immediately take that right turn and go, weird, basically zip into that right downwind there. We're not going to worry about that too much today. Like I said, it's kind of nice to keep it kind of low. Again, take advantage of the fact that you're a helicopter. And one of the big things you always have to be afraid of with helicopters is suddenly dropping out of the sky because we have a bad engine, which is why we're going to stay extra close to the airport itself. So I'm looking at my speeds right now. I'm a little bit fast there. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to bring my collective down to about 15 inches here. That's true for the Robinson. It's going to be a little different. Then we're going to go ahead and activate our right downwind leg. Does your brain hurt just a little bit yet? You can see we're a little high. I'm actually going to go ahead and pull my collective back a little bit. And we're just going to bleed some of that energy off nice and easy. Take a nice right turn. Again, the great thing about helicopters is their visibility is fantastic. So this is going to be our crosswind leg here. Again, about 500 feet up, which feels so wrong. I'm going to take another right turn here. Again, anytime we start getting a little slow, all we have to do is add just a little tiny bit of collective and bring the nose down just a bit. There we go, and this is our downwind leg. Now, this hurts my brain in so many ways as a fixed-wing pilot. Like, this is so unfathomable to me. Like, I'm looking out the window here, and this is this is my downwind. It's substantially lower. Of course, in the real world, we'd probably hug a little bit closer to the grass there, only on account of the fact is if we do lose a rotor, or lose an engine, if we lose a rotor, we're going swimming no matter what. If we lose an engine, of course, we want to be able to at least have some place to go ahead and stick this thing down on the ground. But 800 feet's looking pretty good. I guess we're 500 feet below typical traffic here in Wyndham. Looks pretty good. We're just about to beam the numbers. Very solid, very solid. There we go. And now this is where things get a little interesting for helicopters. So my speed right now is about 60, so we're basically perfect for this. So I'm going to reduce my collective. I'm going to execute a nice, gentle, slow right turn. You're looking for between 300 and 400 feet per minute. That's going to get you about the right amount of descent here. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to come over to my right base, which feels so wrong. And again, try to keep yourself more or less level here. Your collective is doing the work. Let your collective do the work. Let your heart be your guide. Let your collective do the work. And here's my right base leg here. Again, 300 feet per minute is pretty good. Remember, you only need about half of what an airplane does. And that's about ready for final. Again, be thinking about what's going to happen when that rotor suddenly cuts out on you. And there's going to be Home Depot up on our right. I think that parking lot's pretty good this time of day. All right. A little bit long. It's kind of hard when you can't turn your head. now we're just going to try to keep everything into the green here. So I'm noticing my speed's getting a little low. That means my nose is up too high. That's good right there. Descent rate's pretty good. Nice. Again, just keeping it nice and level, and we're just using our collective here. There we are. I'm going to go start transitioning into a hover. And I really shouldn't have pressed the trim button earlier. And then you can see that we can transition right into our hover taxi and basically jump off the runway here. Now, if this were a normal flight, if we wanted to just go around, I would call on the move and I'd basically take back off again. But in this case, we'll go ahead and pretend that that was our successful landing here, and we'll make our way over to the terminal. So as you can see, the big difference is there. You're going to be at a different altitude. You're going to be taking right turns. And of course, when you do come into that approach, you absolutely have to resist the urge to let the nose drop. Keeping it nice and level and just fiddling with the collective is often more than enough to make the helicopter do exactly what you want it to do. Enjoy.